Once upon a time, a boy grew up with empty pockets, but a mind so strong that even poverty couldn't control it. This is not a story about money. This is a story about power. Once upon a time, in a city where tall buildings touched the sky and small houses hid in the shadows, there lived a boy named Zayren. He was born into a poor family in a narrow street where dreams felt heavier than hunger. His home had cracked walls, a leaking roof, and nights filled with silence instead of comfort. From a young age, Zayren learned the sound of empty plates and the feeling of wearing the same clothes again and again. Poverty was not just around him, it lived inside his daily routine. But even in that hard life, something different was growing quietly inside his mind. Zayren's childhood was not filled with toys or holidays. It was filled with watching his parents struggle and still smile. He saw his father return home tired, hands rough, eyes calm. He saw his mother stretch small money into big hope. They never spoke about dreams loudly, but their actions taught him something powerful. They taught him patience, control, and dignity. Zayren learned early that anger wasted energy, and complaining changed nothing. While other children cried over broken toys, he learned to breathe deeply and wait. His poor childhood was shaping a rich mind without him realizing it. At school, Zayren sat in the back, not because he wanted to hide, but because he listened more than he spoke. Some classmates laughed at his old shoes and quiet voice. Each laugh hurt, but he did not react. Inside his mind, he asked himself questions instead of fighting back. Why are they angry? Why do they need to feel bigger than me? He learned emotional intelligence before he learned big words. He understood that people often hurt others when they are hurting themselves. This understanding became his shield. When things went wrong, Zayren practiced self-control. When teachers ignored him, he studied harder. When friends left him, he learned to be alone without feeling empty. At night, while the city slept, he looked at the ceiling and imagined a different future. Not a future of revenge or showing off, but a future of calm strength. He believed that wealth was not only money. Wealth was the ability to stay steady when life tried to shake you. As years passed, Zayren grew older, but his situation did not change quickly. He worked small jobs, failed many times, and faced doors that stayed closed. There were moments when frustration burned inside him like fire, but every time he paused. He counted his breath. He remembered his parents' quiet strength. Instead of reacting with anger, he responded with effort. Instead of blaming the world, he trained his mind. He read borrowed books, listened to people carefully, and learned from mistakes without shame. One day, Zayren met a mentor, an older man named Elion, who noticed his calm eyes. Elion did not give him money or shortcuts. He gave him words. He said, "A poor childhood can break a weak mind, but it builds a strong one if you let it." Those words stayed with Zayren. He realized his past was not a chain, it was training. Every hardship had taught him discipline. Every insult had taught him control. Every loss had taught him wisdom. Zayren started building small successes. Not fast, not loud, but steady. He failed often, but he never lost himself. When others panicked, he stayed focused. When emotions ran high, he stayed balanced. People began to trust him, not because he spoke big promises, but because he stayed calm under pressure. His rich mind became visible through his actions. Slowly, opportunities came, not because he chased them blindly, but because he was ready when they appeared. Years later, Zayren stood in a different place, not just richer in money, but richer in understanding. He looked back at his poor childhood with respect, not pain. He understood that struggle had given him emotional control, empathy, and resilience. He did not hate his past, he thanked it. He knew that without those hard days, his mind would not have grown this strong. Zayren began sharing his story, not to impress, but to inspire. He told young people that a rich mind is built in silence, patience, and self-awareness. He taught them that reacting less and thinking more changes everything, that controlling emotions is not weakness, it is power, that intelligence is not only in books, but in how you treat people and handle failure. In the end, Zayren's life proved one truth. A poor childhood does not decide your future. Your mindset does. When you train your mind to stay calm, focused, and kind, no situation can keep you small forever. Zayren's story was not about escaping poverty, it was about mastering the mind, and that is the richest success anyone can ever achieve.